And we're live. Okay, cool. So today we're going to be talking about maximizing free marketing tools and tactics. This list has been in my life for a very long time. I love utilizing free tools, free stuff, because I don't know if I'm just thrifty or cheap or whatever it is. I'm cool with it because I just don't like spending a lot of money on stuff that is like already available to us that we can use for free and the things we can do for free. So today's all about freeness, free things. So we'll talk about that. We have a really fun presentation with like animation, which I'll talk about where I created it for free as well. So I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Creative Solutions. We are a strategy company in Newmarket. We're part of the chamber, and we do also marketing services like website design development, graphic design, full branding, writing, as well as, which we specialize in, is social media management. So we just launched a new division. It's for anyone that has an online digital program that is looking to create it, market it, and amplify the message. So the whole entire program around how to get your program launched and created. That's what we have going on right now as well. So if there's any questions, I actually want you to encourage you guys to jump on. Usually I say ask all the questions at the very end, but I'm going to encourage you guys to actually jump on and interrupt me. If you want to raise your hand, if you have to put it in the chat, whatever you got to do, just come on video, come on to your audio as well if you need. Just interrupt me as we go, because I don't want anyone to be lost for this one. Lots of stuff we're going to be talking about today. All right, so we have marketing tools that we'll do first, and then we'll do marketing tactics afterwards. So some of the free tools that we use literally daily, one is called Canva. And I'll remind you guys that this is being recorded, and I have the slides for you as well in a PDF format. So you don't have to be frantically writing everything down, but if there's some tips or ideas or anything that you want to write down, that's cool. So Canva. I'm obsessed with Canva. I should have stocks in this company. I swear I need an affiliate thing or something. Canva.com is incredible. It is a graphic design tool that you have no graphic design skills. It's perfect for you. If you have graphic design skills, but you want to use a really easy tool, this is actually really great as well because you can create from scratch. I prefer to use Canva on my computer. I feel like the layout's a lot better. The phone app, it's fine if you need something quick. Like let's say you have an image and you want to put a watermark or your logo on that image. You can do that in Canva very quickly from your phone. But if you want to do like the layouts and the graphics and everything, it's better to be on your computer. You can create every single type and size of thing that you want. This presentation, I usually create these presentations in Google Slides. But this one I thought, you know what, let me just mess around. There's some templates already in Canva. Let me just see. So I chose a template. I did all my own brand colors. I created all my own images. You'll see screenshots in here that I plopped in. The phone on the right-hand side, for instance, is a frame. So all I did was I took a screenshot of Canva on my phone. I uploaded it to Canva, and then I dragged and dropped it inside of a frame. So it's like a graphic design tool already pre-built for you. And I could literally spend the entire time talking about Canva, but we won't. There is a free version, completely free. There's some paid stuff in there. Like if you have images that you're trying to find, there are some paid images, but you can also sort by free images as well. So you can create all your social media posts. If you have cover images for like YouTube or your Facebook page, all that stuff can be created here, even animated videos, because this one is actually an animated PowerPoint in a way. So anything you can think of is all here. If you go in looking for themes, for instance, like you can see November, Remembrance Day there. So that's already designed for you. You can add your own logo, add your own colors, add your own font. It's pretty amazing. Additionally, on the paid program, which is quite inexpensive, I think it's around $250 a year US, and it's well worth it. The amount of stuff that you can do on the paid version is amazing. So one of the things that you can do is delete a background. So for instance, if I had brought over that Canva logo up in the top left-hand corner here, and it had a square around it, I just click one button that says remove background and it creates this for you. So I am obsessed with Canva. I think everyone should use it. And like I said, I need stocks in this company. So free tool to create all of your things. Oh, and there's another thing that just launched today that I saw. You can actually schedule your posts through Canva directly to your social media platforms. So you have to like create it, say post, and then you put in your captions and hashtags and everything there. So super, super cool. Highly recommend, 5 stars. Let's move on to one of the guys that I like here. If you don't have the paid version of Canva, for instance, and you don't have Photoshop, a lot of people don't know how to remove a background, for instance. So this lady, if you wanted to have her in different settings, for instance, you can actually go into Removebg or remove.bg and upload a picture and hit on, take the background out or make it transparent. Now you can actually have a transparent PNG image. So if you ever have the background in an image like your logo and you want to delete the background, this is a super easy free tool to do. There is a paid version. You have more capacity with the paid version, but the free version is completely fine. It does exactly what you want it to do. It's great. And as I mentioned, if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, just stop me and just come on to the voice or write in the chat. The chat is over on my other screen, so I might not see it right away. You can also raise your hand in Zoom, but just ask any questions as we go if you guys have questions about any of these tools. I'm loving this animation, just so you know, I'm obsessed. One tool that we use a lot of, not loving that screenshot there, it kind of went blurry, but that's fine. If you are in Instagram and you want to repost something, so you see a great image that happens to be very, a great image for your audience, what you can't do in Instagram is just share it. And so ideally what you want to do is ask for permission, make sure you ask them for permission to say like, can I share this? Is that cool? And if you don't hear back from them, don't share it. If it's something that has been shared many times and it's just on someone else's platform, but it has someone else's name on it, feel free to share it. And then if you can get back to the original poster, I would ask them for permission instead. So on Instagram, all other platforms, you can just hit share, and then you can share it to your personal or to your business page or retweet or any of those things. But Instagram, you can. So Instagram wants to keep their own content on their own pages, but there's people who have awesome content, so let's share it. You have to have an external link or external app called Repost app. And there's a couple on the app stores. So this one is on both, Android and iPhone. So I definitely recommend this one specifically. The free version will have a little banner down at the bottom or wherever you say to add it, and it'll say the person's name of where you shared it from. So if you guys ever see that on Instagram, you'll know that someone shared it. The paid version, they'll be looking just like this. So the paid version will allow you to take that information off. And another awesome part about the Repost app is that when you actually go to repost that image, it brings over all the content and hashtags that are also in part of that. So if you say great post by so-and-so and tag them and then have their message below it, that's fine. All right. One of my favorite tools to use is Mailchimp. Mailchimp is for email newsletters and email communication. So the free version, you can have up to 2,500 people on your list. The free version is totally fine. You can do email sales funnels. So you can do like a sequence as well through the paid version. Let's say you say, so the triggers. So like I want someone to have these series of emails sent to them based on this one trigger, which is they put in their email address to get a free download, or they put in their email address to get something for free or to sign up to your newsletter. So that sequence is part of the free version. It's pretty awesome. There's lots of other stuff you can do with it, like tagging and segmentation and all these crazy things. I avoid it myself. I feel like if you sign up for the newsletter, just everybody gets the newsletter. But there is an entire system and process around nurture sequences, sales funnels, and you can do all these tagging. And, if this person didn't open it, I'll send this new email to that group instead with a different subject line. It's really cool, the amount of stuff that you can do. But Mailchimp is a really easy program. The templates are fantastic. It's drag and drop. And you can have lots of call to action buttons. If you have an event coming up, you can put a call to action button there to go over to register. It's super, super easy to use, and it's free. So, which I like even better, obviously. There's a lot of other items, mailing. Sorry, that just distracted me. Lots of people are in the waiting room right now. There's lots of other ones out there like Constant Contact, and there's lead pages and all these other ones that are out there. But I happen to use Mailchimp right off the bat. So Mailchimp to me has worked totally fine. Another marketing tool that is amazing is Google Analytics. Yeah, so if you don't have this on your website, I highly recommend just going to Google, typing in Google Analytics, and getting a code that goes onto your website so you can track all of your website's activities. If you have a Shopify website, you already have some analytics built in, which is fine. I know Weebly doesn't really have a lot. Wix has a decent analytics, but I recommend having Google Analytics as well, especially if you're going to be running Google Ads. So for Google Analytics, you can find out where traffic's coming from, who the users are, how long they spend on each page, where they went from the page that they landed on, how long they stayed on your homepage. And then there's some insights that can come from there as well. So if you're noticing, there's something called a bounce rate, for instance. So if you're noticing on Google Analytics, your bounce rate is quite high. So quite high would mean, anything over 50% or 60% is quite high. What that means is that people came to your homepage, your landing page, whatever you told them to go, which is usually your homepage, and then they left. So the bounce rate means someone came in and bounced out. And so the more people that do that, the higher your bounce rate is. So what you want to do is make sure that you have somewhere for them to go next. So Google likes it if people spend time on your website. And so your website will be more trusted and validated through Google, knowing that people stay on your site and people are visiting your website. And then they start to see what pages are actually quite popular. And when Google takes some time to figure out on your website how long people are staying and which pages that they're staying on, they actually index you differently on Google. So if you ever search something up on Google and you like a restaurant in the area, and the first thing that pops up is ads, of course, but then the first real result that pops up, if it says the company name and then maybe a couple pages underneath, that is actually showing that Google really is starting to index that website. So I would highly recommend Google Analytics to give you that insight and ideas behind that. If your bounce rate is very high, it means that they're literally coming to your site and leaving, but something's missing, that you haven't driven them down a path. What's that user journey that you want them to do? Did you want them to book a session with you? Did you want them to check out your testimonials? What did you want them to do next? Sort of walk them through that journey, and then Google will start to see that it's actually working. If your bounce rate stays high, it means they got there, they left, something's missing. So take that into consideration when you're looking through your Google Analytics. It seems a bit daunting when you first look at it, but if you just go straight to, my users, my sessions, where people are coming from and the behavior, those are sort of the main things that you want to look at. We have tons of resources for free, royalty-free, commercial use images. So this means that you're able to use these images for your business. If you're one of those people that decide to go to Google and type in words for pictures that you'd like to have, and then the results come up and you're like, I'm gonna steal that one. That is a big no-no. Huge no-no. Please do not do that. If you have any images like that on your website currently or on social media currently, you technically could be sued by the person that created those images that should be making money from those images. So I remember before I had this business, I had this side hustle, and that's what I did because I was not smart that time. So I did not know you couldn't do that. So I did that, and I got a letter from the company, and they tried to charge me like $5,000. They told me they were going to take me to court. I freaked out, closed the website, but they already had screenshots that I used it. And I was like, look, I didn't make any money off this. Like, good luck. You can't squeeze anything out of me for sure. But if you guys are making money and your website has those images on there, they can actually come after you. So after today, if you have those kind of images on your site or social, let's just get rid of them, please. And you can go to these free sites. So Unsplash, there's tons of these sites out there. Some of them will say they're free, but then when you try and click on an image, it'll say, but you have to pay. I don't understand why that is like a thing, but these ones are actually free. So the ones that we use a lot of is Unsplash and Pexels and Pixabay. Those are and Raw Pixel as well. I do have some for Raw Pixel too. So I would highly recommend you guys going in there, putting your keywords into these. Unsplash is phenomenal. Like they have a ton of stuff, and they're actually linked to a lot of like website providers. So as if you're in a website, for instance, and you're updating your images, Unsplash might come up as one of the ones that you can use for free. Another guy I love to use because it's free as well. If you ever want to schedule your social media posts, Hootsuite is actually pretty decent. I hated them for a while because it was super cumbersome and it just didn't make sense. They didn't post to Instagram. It was a very annoying platform for a very long time. So when I first started with social media, that's what I was using to schedule all my posts, and I quit. I couldn't do it anymore. I just was frustrated with them. So I moved over to other platforms that are paid. So there are ones like Buffer, there's Later as well. They have some freemium models, and they might be decent for you guys too. So the benefit to these platforms is that you can schedule a bunch of content ahead of time for your social media, and then it can just schedule when you tell it to schedule. Hootsuite also has a built-in like AI where it tells you the most popular times that you should be posting based on your user activity. So you can actually pre-set up the times that you'd like to post, and then these can just go into like a queue, and then they'll post at the most popular times. There is a paid version as well. There's not too many features that are, it's more like more users, more scheduled posts, more profiles, that kind of stuff. But if you only have 3 profiles, it could be, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest. I believe they also do Google My Business. So it's pretty decent. I would recommend definitely using Hootsuite. We're back on it for some of our clients. We had this one client that has 23 locations, and we had to figure out a system that would allow us to get approvals as well as schedule and post, and to be able to duplicate that content and repost it if we needed. So it's been a really good platform for that. For all of our other clients, we use Planable. Planable is a paid one for sure, but it's really used for approval processes. So if any of you guys are social media managers, Planable is actually an amazing tool to use. And they've just integrated with Buffer to allow instant post to Instagram. A couple years ago, no one could post to Instagram. It all just sent you these notifications in your phone to say your post is ready, go post it now. It was really silly. But now Instagram has loosened up the reins a little bit and allowed some platforms to post direct. So super happy about that. But Hootsuite's pretty good. I think you guys will like it. Later's decent as well, and Buffer. I just happened to pick Hootsuite for this lesson for today. So let's talk marketing tactics. So if anyone from this group currently has been any my previous classes, we're going to be talking about community management a lot. And I talk about it a lot because it's a free thing that you guys can do yourself. And it's super easy to implement and changes your whole entire business model online. So we'll go over some of these other tactics as well. First tactic on social media specifically is hashtags. So I probably should have prefaced this with, do you know your customer? If you know who your customer is and where they're motivated and what motivates them to the purchasing decision and how many times you have to touch them through all your different marketing initiatives in order for them to convert, that's the first part. You should probably know that. If you want to go a little deeper into your target market, you start to look at persona investigation. So persona investigations is really grouping your target market, not based on demographic, not based on race and age and all that stuff, is based on feeling, actually. So if we look at the feelings and the motivators behind your target market, which now is classified as personas, you start to see trends. And then you start to see from your current client base or your current customer base, are these the same people? Are these my same personas? How have I been marketing to them currently? Is there a way to improve that marketing? So the more you know your target market and the more you know the personas, the better your marketing can actually be. Because now you're talking to the human behind all of this. You're talking to what motivates them, what their needs are. So usually what happens is, as business owners, we think to ourselves, well, I have this wicked product or this awesome service and I'm amazing and everyone should just buy it. It's kind of how we think, right? Like that's how I thought. I'm like, oh my God, we're amazing. Everyone should just work with us. It's not really the case. If we think about it flip side, so there's a sales process and then there's a user journey process. The user journey process is usually, I have a problem. So I'm someone that could be your customer. I have a problem. I'm going to go search for the solution. That solution can be searched in many different ways. It could be asking a friend. It could be Googling it. It could be going on social media looking for keywords. There's a ton of ways that people are influenced. And if you happen to match up your solution with the person's need by knowing where they're motivated and where their conversions can happen, it's an easier sell. You're able to sell to them much more efficiently and effectively because you're actually providing them a solution. So even though you had a product, what is their need for that product? What does your product solve? So if you're thinking about a way to market to people, it's really coming down to that. It's really knowing who your customer base is through and through. So now let's think about those customer bases. On social media, it's very easy for community management to happen. And we'll go into a little bit more about community management, but these are just tactics on a posting level at this point. So Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Twitter all rely on hashtags. So hashtags are basically a word or a key phrase with the number sign or the pound sign in front of it that's all together. And now it becomes a hyperlinked term that is now searchable in those platforms. So on Instagram, if I'm thinking about my target market, for instance, I'm thinking, what would they post? What hashtags would they use? And then I can start doing my community management. But let's talk about posts only. So now you have some content. Let's see if we can just be found by using hashtags on your social media content. I'm going to focus on Instagram for a sec. So on Instagram, you really can't be found unless you have hashtags or geotags, which will be the next conversation. Hashtags, you can have a maximum of 30 hashtags per post. Some people put it right in the message body. Some people will put it in the first comment. Some people will do ... and then put it down in their message. They're all right. They're all fine. They can all be searched. It's just a preference. Some people just they think the hashtags look messy, so they put it in the first comment. The negative part to that is that you can't edit your hashtags or copy them afterwards in the first comment. You have to be able to put it into the actual content, the actual text under your picture in order to copy it or to edit it. So you want hashtags on your posts. I would recommend between 10 to 15 hashtags per post. The hashtags should be a mix of geo tags, so like geographic location tags if your business is local. And then you have hashtags that represent your business, as well as possible hashtags that are around who might be looking, like the solution that you're providing. So if you're providing, let's say massage, you'd put hashtag massage new market, hashtag massage life or something like that. And then you can get into a little bit of a solution side of it. So chronic pain, loosen your muscles, athlete. So if you're thinking about the types of hashtags that you want to put in your post, there's actually some tools out there, which I should have put in here now that I think about it, but I didn't. I'll try and see if I can email them to Tyler to send around. So there's some hashtag tools that are free that we can use to find relevant hashtags for our industry. And I'll send those around as well. One is called $1.80. I know that one for sure, and it's a free one. $1.80, I believe, is a Gary Vaynerchuk platform. There is a free version though. I just tested it out. I haven't used it too much, but it's pretty cool. So all your posts, especially on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, as well as Pinterest, should all have hashtags, every post. And so the benefit to that will be you're found. People can find you with that hashtag. If people are searching that hashtag on those platforms, you actually might come up as one of the most popular people based on activity. You can also come up as most recent as well. So we'll get into that a little bit on the community management side. So all your posts should have hashtags. Any questions about hashtags, you can jump in, or we can talk at the end as well. Geotags. Okay, so that arrow is going to be distracting for me. That's cool. Geotags are, do you see this little, like, where it says like our company name and then like above the picture and it says like Newmarket, Ontario? That's a geotag. So on Instagram, we have the ability to tag a geographic location. If you happen to have, a location, a physical locations for your business, you can put your physical location in Google like you normally would. You also would have that physical location on Facebook. And so when you go to type in your location here, when you're putting your post together, or you can go back and edit your post as well, the geographic location that you're near, all those items will pop up. If you're at the library will pop up and you can say, I'm at the library, dang, right here. So it is a little stalkerish and you have to be careful of how often you're posting about where you actually currently are. So just avoid, if it's a selfie and you're posting like, I'm at the library and there's not really anybody around, just maybe avoid that fully. If you're at an event at the library and there's hundreds of people, for instance, that might be something it's okay to post. Just be self-aware of that. So I would put Newmarket, Ontario. I would put York Region. I would put Aurora, Bradford, all East Gwillimbury, all these locations if I'm targeting those areas. If I have a physical location, I can put my own physical location in there as well. So people can find me on a map if they click on that. So you can search businesses and your customers through geotags as well as hashtags. So we'll get into that as well. So geotags, I would say put them on all your posts as well. It's just another opportunity. If someone searches the word Newmarket, for instance, they'll find, most popular, and then they'll find like basically they'll find the geotags locations, they'll find hashtags. There's a whole bunch of ways that you can search, and there's a little search guy right here. And if someone types in the word Newmarket, it'll bring up some suggestions. So you guys might actually be part of the suggestion if someone is looking for something in Newmarket. Stories. So stories on Instagram and Facebook are possibly a missed opportunity for businesses. Stories are actually quite easy to use. They're, they only last for 24 hours, but the benefit to stories is that your audience that is currently following you will see it pop up in the little circles when they go to their homepage. And people actually go to stories first. So if you're going to navigate your Instagram, for instance, I do exactly the same thing. I open my Instagram, I go straight to the stories bar, and then I start just flipping through. So when you're navigating stories, if you hit tap on the right side of your phone, it skips each story. If you tap on the left side of your phone, it goes back to the last story. And if you swipe, it goes to the next person's story. So if somebody has like 50 stories and you don't want to just keep tapping, you can just swipe and then you get rid of them completely. The other benefit is you can communicate with people, so you can respond to that story. You can, if you want to pause the story and read it, you can hold your thumb down in the middle and the whole story will pause so you can actually action it. But there's tons of stuff you can do, polls and stories, you can get insights. You can tag other businesses. There's gift cards now available on there. It's pretty phenomenal, the amount of stuff that you can do with stories. And now, if you have your Instagram connected to your Facebook, you just push the story from Instagram over to Facebook because it has more features in Instagram. So I usually just push it over, but you can still do the polls and everything on Facebook too. What I just found out today and yesterday was that Twitter has now stories as well. So Twitter stories are called fleets. Don't know why. It's weird. It's fine. But I see stories right now as being a really good opportunity to actually showcase that 24-hour content and live real stuff that's happening. So your timeline can be quite polished if you want, and then stories can be used very frequently so that you can get more content out. So another benefit to stories is that you can do hashtags and geotags on your stories as well. And so if someone's searching for specific hashtags or a geographic location, your story might come up, depending on the amount of views as well, on that result. There's also Reels on Instagram. I haven't played too much with the Reels because I basically think they're just recycled TikToks, personally. I'm not too much of a fan of Reels. I'm just going to let it play out and see where it goes. But stories, 100%. If you're posting, let's say 3 times a week on your regular timeline, definitely post stories as often as you can. Very quick, last 24 hours, and it really doesn't affect your timeline. It just amplifies your message even more. Now, this is my baby. So I created a book all around community management. If you guys want that book, let me know. I usually charge for it, but I'm totally not going to charge you guys. This is what makes social media amazing. So you have your content. Yay, cool. So you're posting your content and then you just sort of walk away from your social media accounts. That's normally what happens, and that's okay. It's just something that I like to call post and ghost. So if you post on social and you never talk to people, that social part of social media is just a missed opportunity, huge missed opportunity. And anyone that's been in my workshops before, I will sound like a broken record, and I'm okay with that. So I basically want to put you guys into a scenario. Let's pretend that we were at a networking event. Yes, that in-person networking event. And you have a stack of business cards. And you take all your business cards and then you throw them in the air and they hit some people, they land on some people's shoes. Some people might find them and then you just leave. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we would really do that, right? Like, I feel like we would go to a networking event to meet people, to say hello, compliment people, maybe give some valuable insights, make connections, start conversations. That is 100% what social media is for us. And specifically Instagram. Instagram to me is the easiest cold calling tool that there's ever been invented, besides actually cold calling with your phone. And who wants to do that? Not me. I don't like to talk to people on the phone and try and sell my services. I'd rather just shake hands and build relationships and say, what's up? Have an actual conversation to someone. This is what social media is used for. What works better in a networking event? Talking to people. What works better on social media? I'm sure you all said talking to people. I didn't hear you, but that's okay. Talking to people is the way that you utilize social media. It's free. It's so easy. All you have to do is do some basic stuff. This is a fuzzy thing as well, so I apologize for that. The basic stuff to do with community management. There's the proactive side and there's the reactive side. So reactive community management is making sure that you're responding to people that have commented on your post. Like I said, if you don't do that, they're post and ghost. They're just going to think that you're out of business. They're going to think that you don't take customer service into consideration. They're going to think that you don't have time for them. So if someone actually does a comment on your post, please like it at least, and then comment back, respond. If it's a spam post or someone trying to get your business or whatever, like just delete those ones, who cares? But if it's a real person that wants to have a real conversation and comment on your posts, acknowledge that person, start that conversation with them. You never know where it's going to go. And this isn't just for customers or clients either. This is for strategic partnerships. This is a big opportunity to start relationships, general. There's always going to be people behind those platforms. There's people behind these social media platforms. So as a person, you're a human, they're a human. Let's talk as humans. Let's just be people, chat it out. It takes time, but it'll actually bring you business. It'll actually start those conversations. People didn't know you existed. And now they're actually commenting on your stuff and you're like, hey, what's up? Thank you. It's amazing. Let's go out for coffee sometime when COVID's over. That you want to respond to them right away if you can. If not, it's cool. Just make sure you do respond. Delete any spammy stuff because people will see that and they'll be like, oh, again, they don't have time for this. Probably don't have time for me. You want to respond to direct messages as well. If someone sends you a direct message, a real direct message, respond. They're trying to build a relationship just like you are. Let's start those conversations or respond to that conversation. So really, that's the reactive stuff. You're reacting to people doing something, and then you're coming on and saying, hey, I'm here, thank you. The proactive side of it is what makes us at Creative Solutions different than all other marketing agencies. We take community management to that next level. We don't rely on ads and we don't rely on reactive stuff. What we do is we push forward and look for your target market based on that human interaction, based on that motivators and solving their problem, finding out what their problem is and solving it with the solution that you happen to have. You're just starting conversations and you're building relationships. So what we do is we use those hashtags and we use those geotags to do searches, specifically on Instagram. Like I said, it's the easiest one to do. Facebook's a little bit harder to do this because Facebook doesn't want business pages to interact with personal pages without paying for ads. So they're constantly going to try and push you into the ad route. And if you feel like you want to go the ad route and you have an amazing conversion tool with an amazing call to action, and you have a conversion in mind that you want to do with these ads, totally fine. I encourage it. But if you're just like boosting posts because they told you it was popular, don't waste your money. Forget about it. Instagram and Twitter are super easy to do community management on. So on Instagram, you can actually talk to every single person that's on Instagram that has a public account. If they have a private account, it's a little bit harder. If they have a public account, you can do a hashtag search or a geotag search, and then you can start doing proactive community management, which is liking someone's posts and their photos or videos. You can comment as well. And what you're doing is you're just building that really quick touch point, right? So you're just liking and commenting. Then what you could do on an additional level is send them a direct message. So if they're not following you yet or you're not following them, it'll go to the request message, which is still okay. Not a lot of people search there. But if they're following you and then you send them a, guys, thanks for following. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I just want to know if there's anything I can help you out with. Hit me up. What did you like about my last post? Just chat with them. When you're liking people's posts, be real, like make sure that actually like it's not someone passed out drunk on a beach or something. You're like, oh, that's amazing. Come buy my mortgage. Like, no, you don't want to do that. For your comments, make sure they're real as well. You don't want to just give a thumbs up or a smiley face because that could actually be perceived as spam and you might actually delete it. If you have a really great comment, what the benefit now is that people can actually pin comments on Instagram. So imagine their post was actually phenomenal and you're like, you commented, it was a big compliment, and they're like, wow, I want everyone to see this. They could pin your comment. And that means that anyone further that goes to that page that sees that post, your comment's the first one that they see, which means that they see your actual profile. And that gives us the feel that we might actually want to go over and check your content out and check your profile out. So be helpful, be resourceful, post really great content, but also be a person, be a human. It's the best and easiest way to do it on social media. It's free. It just takes a bit of time. And the more that you start to do it, there's one client that I just did coaching with her instead. And I was like, yeah, this is easy. Just do it yourself. Like, you don't need us, just do it. You got the content stuff down pat, you're posting stories. Let's just focus on community management. And the book actually shows you all the steps. It literally has daily checklist, weekly checklist, monthly, and then quarterly of all the stuff that you should be doing to be proactive on social media. So I gave that to her, did some coaching with her, and within a week, she's like, oh, I hate you. It totally worked. It totally worked. I got so many new people commenting at so many new interactions. My engagement rate was through the roof. People were commenting left and right because I was just talking to people like a real person, and they actually got her. They actually were just like, okay, I never knew you existed. Where have you been my whole life? So it's a really easy way to interact and actually attract your ideal client by just saying hello. That's literally all you're doing. And it's the easiest way to do cold calling as well. So that proactive direct message that you could be sending to people, you can thank people for following, but you could also send out some proactive stuff. So what we do, so if you guys actually go, and this isn't like please follow me on Instagram, but if you go to my Instagram and you do follow it, we send you a direct message. I may or may not have the same shirt on. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So you're going to see a direct message of a video of me saying, hey, I'm Holly. I'm the founder of Creative Solutions. Thanks so much for following. I just want to ask you, what your number one goal is for 2021. I heard that if you write it down and you tell a stranger, it has to come true. So it humanizes me even more because it's a video. You can hear my voice. You can see that I'm approachable. And it's not just a quick, thanks for following, sign up for my newsletter. It's really just starting a conversation. So I encourage you guys to consider doing a video as a direct message specifically on Instagram. Twitter, you can do the same thing, but not a lot of people use Twitter, and that's cool. Instagram, though, is super open for all of us to be able to use. So I am going to talk about strategic partnerships. So out of all that stuff, all of it is available to build strategic partnerships. So what a lot of people do, I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of companies, what they do is they're constantly looking for leads. Constantly, just that's the end goal, is look for leads. No one talks about nurturing those leads. No one talks about building relationships with those people. It's all about lead generation. I don't care about that. I need to get leads in order to build the business, but all of our leads come through strategic partnerships. So I use social media platforms to not gain tons of people on my email list and not get lots of people trying to sign up for our services. I don't need that. I don't want that. What I want is for people to understand truly who we are and how we can help. And strategic partnerships is what built my business in the last 6 years. So I don't do lead gen at all. I do strategic partnerships, and I build relationships with those partners. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a formal agreement to say, I send you business, you send me business. No, referral networks for me is not the way to go. I want to build real partnerships and people that I want to work with, that I like, that I know attract the same customers that I do. So what better way to do that to form a relationship? So those strategic partnerships could be complementary services or complementary products. You build a relationship with that person by just starting a conversation and saying, I see that you offer this service. Has any of your clients ever asked for what we offer, for instance? And if they say, yeah, absolutely, you could say, it might be a good opportunity for you to offer this kind of thing to your clients if you're interested. We can do white label, so we can work under you as your own business. So we'll do all the fulfillment. Or maybe we can actually just be a partner of yours. You refer them over to us and we give you a kickback. We give you 10% of that sale. So the partnership is formed based on trust and based on knowing that you're going to do a good job. Then it gets built even further when you prove it. And it gets built even further if you can give them a kickback and a little bit of money on the side. So now what they can do is build that relationship with you and with their clients. And now you have a stream of people coming through your sales funnel based on their strategic partners that already believe in you and your business. So I would prefer to do my marketing tactics around nurturing strategic partnerships rather than lead gen all the time. So much money gets put into lead gen. Another one that's severely missed opportunity is nurturing your current clients, nurturing your current database, nurturing your current social media people, followers. These people followed you, signed up, talked to you for a reason. Why? Have you been able to provide a solution for them? Have you been able to form a relationship with them? Have you been able to start a conversation with them? If you haven't, that's my challenge for you. Look for potential strategic partnerships. Reach out to people, start a conversation. If you're looking for clients through social, that's cool. You can do that through LinkedIn as well, if depending on if you're B2B or B2C. Start a conversation first. I don't know about you, I don't like being sold to. As soon as I'm sold to, it drives me nuts when I'm on LinkedIn and I see a message come through and they're like, so-and-so wants to connect with you. I'm like, okay, I actually see how this could work. So I connect. And then as soon as I connect, they message me. Hi, we sell this thing, you should buy it. I'm like, delete, that is so invasive to me. And I understand where they're coming from because the more people you reach out to, the more lead potential it could be. But what about all the people that we're already helping? What about all the people that we've already built relationships with? Let's nurture those instead. So I challenge you for 2021 to focus on partnerships, to focus on nurturing your current people. They're there for a reason. Let's just talk to them. You can download your entire database off of LinkedIn, all your people you're connected with. You can actually download your entire list into an Excel spreadsheet, and you can take your time and you can email those people and you can chat with them. You can invite them to a virtual coffee. Really start building relationships because that's a really number one thing that's going to formulate your success for 2021. And I challenge you to challenge me on that as well. If you feel that that is not the way to go, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. I've just seen it happen for all the clients that we've worked with and for us as well. So I am going to open this up. So I'm going to, you guys can reach out. I'm going to hopefully get these hashtag community management book to get a little bit deeper insight into that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and bring all you guys. Back over them. See you later. All good. Some free tools that you guys are using that you want to talk about. Are you guys still there? Weren't sure about or never heard about? There will be a lot of people come on and there's, I'd love to, if you guys have the ability to do the community management and in a week or two, you're actually noticing that it's working, I really ask you to reach out to me then. Please let me know if you found that it's working. Is anything cool that happened? If you built a relationship or you got 2 new clients from it, whatever it is, just reach out anytime. I'd love, love, love to hear the success stories. All right, do you guys have any upcoming? Nope.
My internet, I'm not sure about everyone else's, but my internet is coming and going fast and furious.
Oh no.
I know Tyler's having issues too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I seem to be fine, but meh. Oh, it says the webinar keeps freezing as well. Yeah. Oh, hopefully.
One of the days.
Oh, well, hopefully the replay looks normal. We'll see. We'll just watch that later. We'll see what happens. Leslie, do you have anything upcoming that you guys want to talk about?
Nothing's coming top of mind. Tyler, are you there? He may not be there. I know he was frozen. We do have, I'm not sure if people can hear me. We do have a December 8th breakfast.
Like I said, you guys reach out anytime. I hope you have an amazing